first grade, and we have been having lots of fun with phonics, learning how to make words and solve words, right? Right?
Yes.
And we learned lots of rules about how to make words and how words sound, yes?
Yes.
Now, one of the rules that we learned, I introduced you to some characters, right? Called the H brothers. Who can raise their hand and give me one of the H brothers? Sophia? S-H. And what sound does S-H make? Very good. Savannah?
C-H.
And what sound does C-H make? Very good. Aiden?
T-H.
T-H. What sound does T-H make? Where does your tongue go for T-H? There you go. Let me hear everybody. And what's the last H brother? Vincent?
W-H.
W-H. And what sound does W-H make?
There's one more.
Not. Get your lips ready. There we go.
There's one more.
What's another one?
P-H.
P-H. Yeah, that's a tricky one. That's not one of the H brothers, though. And it's the F sound. You're right. Ava? Sit. Vincent? Thank you. Now,
I think Sophia's an F in her name. It's actually.
there's a certain part of if we have a base word like swim or skip, we can add pieces to the end of a word, right? What's it called when we add to the end of a word?
Suffix.
I need to raise someone to raise their hand. Jeffrey?
Suffix.
A suffix. Who can raise their hand and give me an example of a suffix? Patty?
E-D.
ED. Can you give me an example of how to use ED? Skip.
Skip.
Very good. Louisa, what's another suffix?
I-N-G.
ING. What does ING sound like?
In.
And can you give me an example of how to use that suffix?
It's like skipping.
Very good. Olivia, what's
T-I-N.
T-I-O-N is a suffix, but we didn't learn about that one specifically. There's another one. Ellie. S. And what does adding an S do?
It makes it what you're doing right now.
Okay, very good. Can you give me an example?
Skip.
Skip. All right, perfect. Now, we just learned about how to crash two words together. What's it called when you crash two words together?
Contraction.
Very good. It
has a little crash.
Go move your bus. Track. And there's your suffix, Olivia, that you're talking about, the T-I-O-N, contraction. Who can give me an example of a contraction? Ellie Kirkland? Apostrophe T. Can you think of a word that has apostrophe T?
Can't.
Perfect. Can't. Are there any more? Can we think of? Tommy?
Won't.
Well, that's an apostrophe T. Olivia?
S.
Give me
Apostrophe S. Apostrophe S. Apostrophe S.
Okay, so if we're going to crash the word. Well, if we crash a word with the word
D.
S, we're crashing it with the word is, right? Can you give me an example of how to use apostrophe S? It is.
Okay, it is.
It is, and if it's a contraction, it becomes
It.
very good. Vincent.
Well, I thought of another apostrophe one. Apostrophe D.
Apostrophe D. Man, I wasn't even thinking about that one. Can you give me an example of an apostrophe D?
Apostrophe
D? How can we use that one? Like, she would. Very good. She. That's hard to say. Now, there's another kind of vocabulary words that we did. Remember this one?
Tricky.
Who can raise their hand and tell me what that sneaky, tricky E does? Oh, if I could get my hand from him. Peyton, what does that tricky E do?
He sneaks up and zaps the vowel.
He sneaks up and he zaps the vowel. So if I had the word pan, and that tricky E came up and it pain. Very good.
Or like you have a pain.
Kind of.
A baby.
Okay, now boys and girls, this is what we're going to do. We are going to help each other remember some of the very important phonics lessons that we learned. Remember when we did just the suffixes and we put the paper on the tables and we said these are the ing words we know, these are the ed words, and these are the s words we know? We're going to do something very similar.
This is phonics.
It is phonics. So we're going to make a list of all the contractions that we can think of. Can you guys move the blue table? Move the blue table. Thank you. We're going to make a list of all tricky E words that we know. I'm sorry, there's too many voices for me to give directions. Hunter, I don't want to see you grab things out of people's hands like that. This is going to be a table of all H brother words. Now, listen, don't forget, H brothers, they can be at the beginning, the middle, or the end of a word, right? And this is going to be a list of all the suffixes that we can think of. Now, here are some rules for our ideas. If you come across a word that you think is misspelled, who can raise their hand and give me a good idea of how you can handle that situation? Patty?
Circle it and then write it on top.
Right, use our editing marks. Circle it. Ava?
You can ask a friend.
Ask a friend to double check it. You can say, I don't know if this word is spelled correctly. Could you check it with me? Now, what happens if you think of a word that's already on the list? What if you come to the contraction list and you say, oh, man, I really wanted to put the word it's on there. Who could give me an idea? Ellie?
Like, if you were writing it and someone else already wrote it, you should just pick out something else.
You could pick out something else, but what do we do for math class when we have 2 votes or something? Ourselves?
No.
Or no, we could
Check.
put a check mark by it. So if you want to come by and say, oh, I really wanted to write it, you can put a check mark on there.
There's 2 check marks. Or you could rewrite it.
Okay, boys and girls, this time we're going to make it a little faster. You are going to have uno momento to work with your group.
1 moment.
1 minute. 1 minute. You are going to be listening for my bell. When you hear my bell, you're going to freeze, and I will tell you what table to move to. Are there any questions?
No, there are not.
Okay, stand up, push in your chairs.